What's up and welcome back. I'm still in my Oscar week rewatch mode, and I decided I'd check out Top Gun Maverick again. So it's my second time through Top Gun Maverick. Since I actually didn't see this in theaters, last time I saw it was when it dropped in December for Christmas, just in time for the holidays. So it really hasn't been that long, but it was still fun. So that's a plus. I'm a blind film critic, so I watch films with audio description. Last time I watched this on Paramount Plus for my first review, which still exists on my channel if you want to see what my first initial thoughts were. And this time it still has audio description. It's the same audio description, so I'm not going to focus a whole lot on reviewing the exact same thing. This is just sort of like a did it hold up? Am I super happy about that A grade that I gave it? Do I believe, do I believe this is one of the best films of the year? All that jazz. Because it's easy to write off a film like this, like a summer blockbuster, and be like, it doesn't deserve to be here. It doesn't deserve to be in the conversation. It's not really a good movie. That's like kind of a film snob thing. When people think that we should just have a top 10 full of indies or foreign titles or whatever, it gets a bit much. Cinema is a spectrum, so we should embrace it. And I think Top Gun Maverick is a really good popcorn flick. I mean, it does it really well. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. If you watch the first Top Gun and then you move into Top Gun Maverick, they're tonally way different. I mean, Tom Cruise really went for it with this one. I mean, he brought home the emotion. He knew how to really set up the action sequences. He learned a lot, really, from the success of his Mission Impossible franchise and how with each Mission Impossible film, they keep getting better and better. I think he's used that really to his advantage here with Top Gun Maverick. And the story that he tells, he knew, he ropes it in. I'm talking about him like he wrote and directed the thing. I believe Tom Cruise had a lot of say in this film. I think he really, when it comes down to it, there are other people credited as director and writer, but he is producer, and I think this film was summoned to life via Tom Cruise, not really anybody else. I think Tom Cruise was the one that was most interested in doing a Top Gun sequel. He knew it was about that time where it had been just enough years where, Goose's son could be old enough and he could tell that story and he could tell that narrative. I don't know even what a third film would be. It doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I don't understand what a third film would be. It's so unnecessary. This film just needs to be like a 1 and a 2 film. You know what? If Miles Teller, like 30 years from now, wants to make a film where he's teaching Maverick's son to fly or something, I don't know. But I got nothing. But that's about it. They could suggest maybe that Maverick and Jennifer Connelly had a kid and grew up, and later on Miles Teller has to, although I don't, so there's just something about Top Gun Rooster that just doesn't sound like it would be a great movie. But I like this film, and it introduced me to a bunch of actors that I really liked. Actually, Monica Barbaro. This is one of the films where I was like, oh, she's great as Phoenix, and it actually led me to watching another one of her films this year where she was the star of At Midnight, and I was like, oh, Monica Barbaro. I really want to see more of her stuff, and I hated it. So I do wish the best for her, though. She's something that I'm paying attention to. Obviously Glenn Powell, but I've been a fan of Glenn Powell ever since he was like the funniest thing about Scream Queens. So yeah, I'm I was already on board. I think John Hamm actually is really great in this too. I think I undervalued him the first time through. He's such a douche in this film. It's really good. He's so good at being an ass, but he feels really right for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like the right sort of military ass. You know, like just the right sort of Air Force douchiness, to where he's not a bad guy. He's just like, he just needs to calm down. But obviously the standout performances here are Miles Teller and Tom Cruise, and to some extent Val Kilmer. I can't really say much about his performance because I'm blind, so he kind of just points to the text that's timed out on the screen, and then he kind of gets a little bit of words out there in that conversation that he has with Maverick. So it's a very impactful scene, and after seeing the documentary Val, I'm just really happy that Val Kilmer is still finding ways to work wherever he can. So it was good to see him back in the film. Ed Harris, of course, is fine for like the 5 seconds he's in here. The one that's really weird for me, and it doesn't really change my grade, here's what I'll equate it to, is it's like going to the grocery store to pick up like a birthday cake. Like, it's your birthday cake, and you got to go to the bakery, and you're picking it up, and you know it's going to be great. You ordered exactly the birthday cake that you wanted, and these people are pros, and they know how to make a birthday cake, and it's amazing. You know, I don't know. Pick whatever your flavor is, and just imagine that birthday cake. And then, so they're handing it to you, and for no extra charge, for some reason, the bakery also hands you a hamburger with your birthday cake. And you're like, okay. I mean, I'm not paying more for it. I didn't really ask for a hamburger. I suppose I could eat it. I mean, it looks good. I don't know that I need it. I might not eat it. That's kind of how I feel like Jennifer Connelly in this movie. Like, I don't think she hurts the movie, but I also think there's a cut of the film that would work just as good, just as well without her. She's just kind of there, and it's kind of bizarre because we don't really need her plot or her storyline. I know that they're unable to sort of fully wrap up Kelly McGillis's plot from the first film, but it doesn't mean that we need a Jennifer Connelly. It's just, I look at the film, I kind of felt like it was weird the first time. The second time I watched it, I was like, I'm not even sure these two have chemistry. I mean, there's this history that they teach us that supposedly is there, and it's like, oh well, they have history from back in the day. It's been a long time since the first and second movie. You're just gonna have to follow us on that. And it's like, okay, I'll follow you on it, but I mean, I buy it. They're good actors, so I just, is it necessary? I don't know. I just don't think so. I think it's like exactly what I just said. I think it's like going to pick up your birthday cake, and then they give you a free hamburger, and you're like, do these things even go together? Okay, I'll take your hamburger then. Thanks for the free hamburger. Like, it's very that's how I feel about Jennifer Connelly in this film. But it's amazing how long the film is, but you don't feel it. Only maybe a couple times in the Jennifer Connelly scene. There's like the scene where they go to bed, and I would say maybe that was like the one time where I was like, where am I at? What's the runtime? How far am I into the film? But otherwise, they don't really focus too much on their relationship. It's not like a dominating plot, which makes it even more odd that she has second billing, because how does Miles Teller not have second billing in this film? Jennifer Connelly, I know she's, Academy Award winner Jennifer Connelly. Whatever. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Nobody showed up to this film because Jennifer Connelly was in it. she brought nobody in this film. So, if she's trying to use her star power to make sure that she gets second billing under Tom Cruise, somebody should have just said no and moved her down, because it's ridiculous that Miles Teller doesn't have second billing in this film. It's obviously that's what the film is about. That's obviously what the dynamic is. If Jennifer Connelly's third, fine. She's in enough of the film to justify that. I don't know who else would be third. John Hamm, maybe. I don't know. Glenn Powell, maybe. It's really hard because the rest of the recruits are all kind of grouped together. But anyway. It's fun. If you haven't seen this movie, you should watch it. Is it the best picture of the year? It's not my best picture of the year, but when you check out my top 10 list, you may hear its name called. That's kind of the point of me going back through and watching some of my favorite films. You may also hear a certain name in the best actor list, because, yeah, I think it's a good performance on its own. And I think Tom Cruise, I don't know that he should have been one of the 5, but I do a top 10. So I'm okay with him not getting an Oscar nomination. But for me, for my top 10 performances, yeah, he's there. So, anyway, I gave it an A, and I'm going to stick with it, an A. Oddly enough, this is one of those films where I feel like I could end up watching this a couple more times and eventually maybe move it into A+ territory, depending on how much I feel like this is my favorite. I feel like I could watch this more. I think I'm going to watch it more than the first film. I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like, how many times have you seen Top Gun? Twice? Like once or twice? How many times did you see Top Gun Maverick? I don't know, like 8 times? Be something like that. But anyway. Will it win any Oscars? We shall see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I usually talk about films with audio description so that I can help further the cause, but I'm just doing this kind of for Oscar week, revisiting a lot of films that I saw in 2022 that I really loved and just getting a second chance to talk about them. So, that's it. You can go to my website, macmovieguy.com. You can go to the audio description project, avp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. You can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who is narrating your favorite films and television series. And you can go to either Twitter or Instagram and follow me at Mac the Movie Guy. And you can hold my hand, just like Lady Gaga wants you to. That's it from me, and I will see you guys on the other side.